Hey everybody! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Daisy. So last week I shared with you an entire video related to my living room. I did some painting in there. I shared with you some helpful tips, my go-to products, and some hacks. So if you're interested in watching that video, I'll make sure to leave the link below. Alright, now for the fireplace. So after I painted my walls, the fireplace looked great, but the tile stood out badly. And the tile's not ugly, but it's just not my taste at all. It sort of outdated the fireplace and kind of made it look a little drab, and it just wasn't the look that I was going for. After searching for tile for the fireplace for hours on end, I went in stores, I was looking online, I couldn't find the right one. I went home, I slept on it, and then in the morning, I remembered I had some scrap peel and stick wallpaper from installing it in my son's bedroom last year. I wasn't sure about this, but go with me. At this point, I didn't want to rush into tile. I didn't want to waste money. I didn't want to settle, so I decided all I was going to lose was time, because going the wallpaper scrap route was going to save me money, and I was totally good with that. As with any fireplace that is tiled, there is grout, there's seams, and there's gaps. I didn't just want to install the wallpaper right over the tile. I feared that if I didn't cover up the seams where the grout was, I would probably see some like dents or like inlays. I didn't want to make it obvious that I put this giant wallpaper sticker on this fireplace. My fix was to use some frog tape to cover those exposed gaps. That way, when I install the wallpaper, I didn't have to worry about those gaps being visible. So I wasn't sure if this was going to work, but I tried it and I'm really glad that I did. I'm not sure if you can see here, but as I am applying the tape, I'm tugging on it before I press it into place. I'm trying to create an even surface for the wallpaper to lay over, especially in this area because the tile right here in the corner was very uneven. I used my wallpaper smoother tool and a box cutter to cut off all of the excess tape that would be exposed after I installed the wallpaper over top. For the areas that were not butted up against molding or anything like that, I was slowly cutting away the excess of the tape by using the edges of the tile as a cutting guide. This really helped me get a clean line. I pulled out all of the scrap wallpaper I had left and just sorted through looking for the ones that would fit best. Before I committed, I took a scrap piece and just kind of taped it onto the tile. I snapped a photo and just sort of like studied it because I wanted to make sure that I liked it. I also shared it on Instagram with y'all. While some of y'all thought that I was absolutely crazy, the rest of y'all thought it was pretty genius. So it was literally like a toss-up between love-hate relationship because because I know it's not like a go-to thing to do to update your fireplace, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. After referencing what would be my centerpiece wallpaper to my Amazon purchase order, I needed to make sure that the bricks were facing the proper direction. The last thing I wanted to do was install it upside down and then realize later and then be totally angry with myself. I set it back on the ground and I lined it up with the longest piece of scrap that I had left. I used some tape to help secure it into place. I then grabbed my ruler to draw a straight line across both panels. This was a guide to help me figure out exactly what my actual measurements were going to be for the next couple of steps. I then took some final measurements of the height of the tiled area in the fireplace, then transferred all of those measurements onto my longest piece of scrap wallpaper, adding 1/4 of an inch to the length for some wiggle room, just in case. By the way, I had just enough wallpaper. I had some excess wallpaper, but if you remember my wallpaper installation video, I shared with y'all the pattern repeat. Well, the pattern repeats like every 4 rows down. It's the same exact picture. It's like a copy paste. When I cut the panel down on the right side to bring it over to the left, oh my gosh, I was really nervous because literally I barely had enough. I pretty much repeated all of my steps. I taped everything down to help secure it into place, and then I repeated the same exact measuring and cutting techniques that I did with my previous panel before cutting it. I then continued the lines I drew on panels 1 and 2 onto this one as well, before cutting them all to size for application. I started the application with the center piece first, because I wanted to ensure that it was as centered as possible. I measured the fireplace a billion times before I made any cuts, because this was it. If these scraps were cut incorrectly, I was pretty much done at that point. I wanted to make sure that that did not happen. Measure a billion times and then cut once and hope you did it right. I used my blade and wallpaper smoother for perfect application and clean cutting. I made some additional measurements so that I can mark my left and right panels to size. This way, I can cut them to more manageable pieces for installation. Remember to take your time when you're doing any kind of wallpaper installation for peel and stick wallpaper. Take your time and remove the backing of the wallpaper just slowly, because there's no need to rush this process. And if you take your time and you're extremely patient, your results will be great. Just enjoy, take your time, and be patient. After making sure my wallpaper panel was all aligned properly, I used a pair of scissors to cut off the excess that was not overlapping onto any tile, because I wanted to get like a clear view of what I was doing. I was terrified of over cutting with my blade, so the scissor trick definitely helped out a lot. I then repeated the measuring process over on the right side. I made my marks according to the right length. I drew a straight line across before cutting the panel. after cleaning up both sides with my blade, voila, it was done. Before, the tile was making this fireplace look so tired. The after looks absolutely incredible, and the brick even looks a little real. You can't even see the seams, and gosh, like, you know, talk about a no-cost solution for a quick update. Literally, this took me about an hour. I do still want to install some tile later. I want to replace the actual tile. But until then, I am 100% satisfied with the way that this looks. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. I really hope that y'all enjoyed it. If you have absolutely any questions, please feel free to comment them down below. I am so glad that you guys decided to stop by today. Don't forget to share some love, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!